So here we are again, another weekly video living with Alzheimer's, and this is week number 48. I've just had a look in my book because, I do tend to forget where we are with these weeks. Now, this week, I've been asked a question by somebody, and I think it's a question that I think a lot of you would like the answer to. It's something that is probably difficult for some people, and is also difficult for the people with the condition as well. And it's a question about what do you say to somebody when they asked about people that have passed away, whether it's husbands, wives, and in some cases mothers and fathers that might have been dead 30, 40 years or more. Do you tell them the truth, or do you tell a fib? And I wanted today to try and sort of give you a little insight as to what somebody is thinking and why they have come to ask that question in the first place. Because I think until sometimes there's not really the right answer. I can't really say to somebody, look, you know what, your best bet is to lie and all is well, or to tell the truth and let somebody go through this this grieving process all over again. So I think it's certain situations and certain times sort of, I suppose, demand a certain answer. But like I say, before you do that, you need to be able to understand where somebody is coming from. And I think I try to always explain these situations so that everybody can understand. People who are living in a different time zone to those with dementia or on a different level can understand what it's like. And I think one of the best ways to try and explain this situation is that imagine that you are at a party. You're at somebody's house and there's a party and there's lots of people who you know. Aunts, uncles, husbands, wives, cousins, all sorts of relations and friends that you know and have known for many years. So you're at this party having a good time. You go into the kitchen to get yourself a drink or something to eat. When you come out a few minutes later, a lot of those people are gone. They're no longer there. They're missing. The chairs are empty. But you ask somebody else who's there, you say, where is my husband? Where's my wife? Where are my cousins gone? Where's my mother and father? And this person answers you, well, they're all dead. What do you mean they're all dead? Because they're not dead. I saw them 5 minutes ago. No, they've been dead years. But they're not. I've just seen them. So the thing is that in your mind, you have just seen them. Now, you wouldn't be happy with this, they're just dead. Would you accept that they're just dead? Because in your mind, you've only just seen them a few minutes ago. They were there. You were talking to them. So how can they be dead? Imagine the confusion. Imagine the horror of what is going on. Now imagine another scenario. You go into the kitchen, you get your drink or your food, you come out and these people are gone. And you say to somebody, where have they gone? Where is everybody? Oh, they've just gone down to pub to get some more food, or they've gone down to the shop, or some of them had to get back to work. Then, oh yeah, okay, fine. You would accept that. You would think, okay, that's a reasonable answer to my question because they were here and now they're gone. So you accept that. So, in some circumstances, if somebody believes that their husband is alive, or their wife or whoever, and they'd seen them just a few minutes ago in another room in your house, then it's not really, it must be very distressing to tell them that they're gone and they've died X amount of years ago. I think that when I get to that stage, I would want people to say that my wife, my husband, or who, well, not my husband, but my wife or relation that I'm asking about has gone to the shops or they're at work and they'll be back soon. You know, it's not a big deal. They're just here. So all is well. And I wanted to try today to explain to people that side of dementia from, I suppose, from the person who's living with it, because it then gives you a little bit more ammunition of how to communicate and how to make life a little easier. It's also the same, sometimes people don't realise that they're in their own home, or maybe they have moved to a house and just recently, and the person they're living with is not who you are, but you should be a small child. You should be 6 or 7. Where are the children? So, you know, the children are at school. And sometimes it is a little bit like going back to a young child's mind. You have to divert, please, and satisfy the question at the time, because in satisfying the question, it satisfies somebody's mind. Now, I know that the lady that asked this question didn't really know how to cope with it and didn't really know what to do, and I do hope that that gives you a little insight, because if I try and write things down, I can't explain in a written word as I now have. So I do hope that that helps you understand it, and maybe helps many others with these awkward questions. Now, on a lighter note, I was going to tell you, just give you a little update about the Cycle Challenge. Last week, I just had a look at last week's video, and yeah, as you all know, I had this this problem about cycling on my own, and I was half prepared to cycle across the country, or most of it, on my own. But I put a little notice out, and a wonderful lady called, this dementia is a bloody nuisance sometimes. Excuse my French. Hang on, everybody. Just bear with me a second. I've got it written down just in case. So I am organised. Jan Dodd. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jan. I shouldn't have forgotten your name, and I do apologise. And that, how bad is that? But Jan messaged me, and the long and short of it is she's going to be my cycling buddy across the country for the whole thing. She's a very accomplished cyclist, and in actual fact I'm a little concerned now she's going to put me to shame, so she's going to keep me on my toes, and I'm going to have to do even more training now to keep up with her, I think. So that's great. I can't thank you enough for helping me out through this challenge. I mean, other people are going to join us along the way. Sax Mundum Velo, the cycle shop who are supporting us, they're going to join us, I think, from Huntington. A number of those, and quite a few people from the last stop at Stowmarket home are going to be joining us. But Jan, bless her heart, has said that she would do the whole thing with me, and I can't thank you enough, Jan. It has eased my mind a little, and also my wife's, and I know many others. So yeah, and I'm so sorry that I forgot your name. That is so terrible. But anyway, I hope today has been educational. Do have a wonderful weekend, as always. Do have a great week, and I will be here next week with something else. And if anybody has got any questions, anything they want to ask me, as the question I've answered today, do ask, and I will always try and answer them during the next week's video, because it is so much easier for me to talk than it is to write at this stage in my condition. Thank you so much for listening again. Bye bye. See you all next week.